Hey brothers and sisters, this is an interesting twist. I'm going to tell you about a dream I had, and I have it in my prior videos, but um, it's not the first Mark of the Beast dream I had, but about few months back, I forgot the date, but I know it was more than a month or two back, I had a dream that my husband and I were driving, and it was a 6-lane highway. And you know that how Easy Pass is, well, in the East Coast, Easy Pass is like a toll booth area where you go through, and then you either pay for your tolls in cash or by showing your Easy Pass. You have to have your Easy Pass barcode or ID or whatever. Usually, there's a toll booth employee in those areas in the toll lane collecting tolls. But in this dream, it was military checkpoints. There was a few militaries officer stationed at each area. And then my husband and I pulled into a lane, and there was a big Humvee truck all the way to the right, full of people. But anyway, one gentleman came over, and he scanned my husband's arm. My husband's name is Mark. So, very, very, very ironic. But he scanned his arm. My husband had this chip or whatever in his right arm. And they read it. They saw his dental records in this device. It appeared, all of his history, his dental records, his financial history, everything. And the officer, the military officer, asked my husband, "Oh, so you're retired from the military?" And he goes, "Yeah, how do you know?" And the guy goes, "We can see it." So they had a little small chatter about being in the military or whatnot. And the guy, military officer, checked my arm, and he couldn't read anything because I didn't have a chip. So he tried it again, and then he said, "Please wait here." So he went over, because he thought his machine was defective, and he got his colleague, right? And his colleague checked my arm too, and he couldn't read any chip in my arm either. And they said to me, "Wait here." So I knew I was going to be arrested. And then I looked in the right side. I was zoomed in. I believe that this dream is from the Lord. I'm not stating this fact, but I believe it, because what's the coincidence to have a dream like this and my husband's name is Mark, you know? But I looked in and I saw people in the back of the truck. They were arrested, and I have reason to believe they were Christians. Okay? So the reason why I say that is because I believe that the Lord laid in my heart that that was coming. And I had that dream a couple of months back. I had a couple of more Mark of the Beast dreams types as well. I left the article link below that Obama, we all knew that Obama wants to push for the one world order. I mean, the man is bent on being a dictator, you know, he's just obsessed with it. But I left links below. He is trying to push a bill, and in this bill, from April of 2014 to May 2014, I'm not stating this as fact, but he's trying to mandate that this chip be implanted in everybody globally. Here in the United States, but everybody globally. It sounds like some one new world order government to me. I'm not stating anything as fact, I'm just telling you. And after that, he wants to come out with a national biometric ID. So it makes sense, because that ID is how they can actually, you know, they'll be able to see everything about you. And then that chip is monitored. It's an RFID chip. It's monitored from a satellite. And I've read articles on how they say for criminals, if they're implanted with this chip, and if they escape or whatever, if they say if they're a threat or they escape, I'm paraphrasing here, that RFID chip has a lethal dose of iodine that can kill a person. I mean, how do we know if that's not, you know, if that iodine poison is not in everybody's chip? Because that chip is meant to control you. It'll control your life. And if you take it, that's a one-way ticket to hell. Don't take it. That's the Mark of the Beast type stuff. Don't take it. It talks about it in the book of Revelation. Without that, you can't buy, you can't sell, you can't even work. I'd rather starve, be miserable, and broke than take that chip. Because I know if I endure patience and love and wait on my King Jesus Christ, I'll be with Him. I'd rather spend eternity with Him than eternity in hell. Take that chip and end up in hell. I just found it very disturbing. you know, and with all this stuff happening with the peace agreement going on, nobody knows when that's going to be fulfilled, but you know, it's there's significant progress made than any other president, you know, and with these earthquakes and these weather anomalies and these blood moons, look, I'm not prophesying anything here. I'm just giving you my thoughts on this. Okay, it just shows one thing, how down to the last hour we are in. Okay, and you know, this is my thoughts I'm spilling out to you. As always, take everything to the Lord in prayer. Okay, but I had a dream about this a few months back, that everybody was in a car driving, and they had that mark on their left hand. There were 6 military checkpoints on a large highway, 6-lane highway, and each of them were being scanned to make sure they had that chip in their arm. This is like something out of Left Behind. I don't watch movies anymore, but when I used to be in the world, I watched Left Behind series. I watched In the Blink of an Eye. Well, in the blink of an I watched the Left Behind series, and then I found out recently that if you watch Christian movies, it's an emulation that is imitating anything to do with Jesus Christ, whether it's his life or anything like that, or anything emulating in the Bible, like The Gathering, that it's a sin, right, Marcus? So, you know, what part of Scripture?
Romans,
I believe it's in the book of Romans, so take a look at it for yourself. So that's why I stopped watching Christian movies, as much as, you know, I stopped watching Christian movies a few months ago, and I repented for that. But, take us to the Lord in prayer. Well, guys, I don't do this many videos on a daily basis. I'm off today. I work tomorrow. We are so close, guys, so hang tight. A few bold soldiers for Christ continue to endure, continue to press on, and stay in the Word, and do not trust these false prophets. Because now you can see that this time frame that we are in, we cannot afford to be deceived. Because remember, it says in the Bible that even God's elect can be deceived, or will be deceived. We cannot afford to be deceived, ladies and gentlemen. We got to keep the armor on of God, and keep our eyes on Jesus Christ, and stay away from these false prophets. Don't be afraid to speak your voice and correct another brethren in error. Remember, you have to come to them in private first. Come with 2 witnesses the second time. They don't listen, you warn the church. You did what you're supposed to do, because if you don't, that blood's on your hands, per Ezekiel 33. But I just thought this was interesting. I just thought I'd bring it to you. I left a couple of links below about this. You know, if you want to share that article, feel free. But always take everything to the Lord in prayer, because none of these events, I'm not stating it as fact or date setting. This is something that is in the article, that they want to mandate this trip in everybody between April 2014 and May 2014. And April ain't that far away, ladies and gentlemen. That's the time frame that this 9-month deadline for the peace agreement is supposed to be done. Well, they're saying that they might extend the peace agreement beyond that, but that's also along the lines with the blood moon. So you know what? This is God's stuff. This is God's plan. God plans the events. What we need to focus on is preaching the gospel, winning souls into the kingdom of heaven as bold soldiers for Christ, being a watchman on the wall, warning when there's a brethren in error, and don't take that mark. If the rapture happens tomorrow or the next week or the day after, no man knows the day nor the hour nor the year, and you're left behind, don't take that mark, because that's a one-way ticket to hell. Alright? Be blessed. And I left the article links right below.